spend some money sourcing great coffee. They wouldn't come in just to look at the kind of Cowboy hat. They come in thinking this is a gimmick, right? Which is not. I've had my experiences. But then when they try my coffee, they realize this is a serious enterprise because my coffee is the highest grade you can get. Far better than Costa, far better than Starbucks and the rest of them, because I'm not going to cut corners, because that's what will keep people coming back to my shop. They're not coming just to see the Cowboy. They want to see that it's actually got a good product. The first time they come into my shop, I promise you, most of them laugh at me. They make fun of me, they make jokes about me, but I know what the future holds. So I took it, and I've served my coffee, and then a new respect is formed. So my goal is to have the best coffees from around the world. I've only just started, and I'm going to reach into Africa and other places to solve my coffee. So at the same time, my love of the Cowboy genre, especially black Cowboys, because most people don't know the reason they were called boys, because they were black, right? The white guys were called ranchers and cattle hands. Then the black guys were called boys. And they did most of the work. The cooks, the chefs on the road, on the trail, were mostly black. They died of snake bites and all whatnot, all the way to Canada, California, and all whatnot. And I had the opportunity, having lived in Texas and also being a truck driver all over America, I attended black rodeos and actually saw the descendants of these black cowboys. And they told me, they confirmed the story that I knew way back. So, and also being a trucker, I kind of like immersed myself in that lifestyle. I flipped. I don't know if you want to watch movies with people's eyes flip and it becomes something else. I became everything I've always wanted to be, a cowboy. So when I was on the road, I actually look quite simple, to, the way I am right now. But when I was there, I was a true cowboy. I had a big belt from here to there. I had my knife. Also other things going on. All of that stuff, because it's a dangerous job to do. I was all over America in KKK territory, all kinds of places. I would sit next to them and we look eye to eye. They know that I'm here to do work. If you won't come at me, I'll come at you. It's do or die. So I'm there to do what I need to do. So I became essentially a cowboy in those times and enjoyed it, even though it was frightening for me at some point because I actually started crossing over into the dark ages of the But it's part of, I realized that it's part of my own legacy to have experienced that. So when I came back to UK and seeing you all as very tiny people, which honestly, it felt like you guys were so small and very apologetic and meek and mild and all that stuff. Whereas I'm used to, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. Get me that, get me that. So I was in that mood when I came back and I thought, I'm gonna kick ass out of London, basically, So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, like I said, this business is based on excellent coffee and using the history of the African-American cowboys and also the cowboys in Africa, because most of them that came to America already experienced being cowboys in Africa. So they were tapped for the expertise in herding cattle. So it's all related back to Africa. Also, my grandfather had cattle. I used to feed when we went home to the village. So everything it kind of like congealed into how I felt about the black cowboys. So I wanted to create an enterprise that highlights their story. So I also created a comic book to allow me to express that vision. So these are things from my comic book. Okay, the first image I did before I actually started the business was an image of me in Amarillo, Texas. This is actually me in Amarillo, Texas. I used to deliver to a military site. The fire wasn't there, but I used to sit there with a cup of coffee and stay into the distance until I'm offloaded. So sometimes it would take 2 weeks to get offloaded in a military site. So I'll be there eating my tuna fish and one for 2 weeks. So I needed to get that image done, and then it empowered me, especially when I came to Brixton. If you remember in Brixton, Tree Shepherd, remember you offered me coffee?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. When I came to seek advice from Tree Shepherd.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that was probably the best thing that I did for my business. The advice I got from, what's his name again? Colin. Yeah. He gave me such an excellent advice, okay? And he actually believed and saw my energy at the time that I'm going to be able to do what I plan on doing. So he gave me an excellent advice, and then he came in offering me coffee, and I said, sorry, ma'am, I'm not drinking that. but you know, to be honest with you, the fact that I can look back in time and see Sandra at the beginning of my enterprise, and I'm looking at you right now, it just makes me feel great. I feel that I've done something. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful to you guys. Okay. So I went on to create this thing about Black Cowboys. So many images. If you come to my shop, you will see images of cowboys, obviously with my face on it. But, you know, that's positive narcissistic behavior, isn't it? You know? So I wanted to honor them. I wanted people to know that such a thing existed, which is something I can talk about when they come to my shop. It's something I can fight for. Not just fighting for my children, I'm fighting for a historical fact that people don't recognize, and also because it's related to my own lineage. Moving on from that, during the pandemic, I saw an opportunity. Actually, it was the best holiday I ever had. What was it? The shutdown. COVID. We had to sit at home. I'm sorry, guys. I hope it didn't affect any of you badly, but to me, it was the best time of my life because it's the first time I actually had to stop working, and I sat there thinking, how can I bounce back from this? How can I come out of this? It's being in the store, selling coffee and dancing and doing all, just having fun, selling coffee. How can I now take my business to the next level when we come out of the shutdown? And then fortunately, Southern Council decided to give me a big bag of money.
Whoa.
Rubbish. They gave everybody else £20,000 or for it, and they gave me £2,000 after they did to do something with £2,000. You know, and I thought, okay, I know what to do. So I went to one of a very excellent coffee roaster, and I said, look, I want to start my own brand. How can you help? I said, well, what do you have? I said, I've only got like £1,000. I said, okay, fine. We'll give you ideas on how to do it, and we'll sort some beans for you and give you the first batch. So I spent it. After the pandemic, I spent some money, several boxes of my own branded coffee beans, which is not this, it's a different kind of brand, but it's this in these bags. And I had 4 boxes delivered after the COVID-19. And then people came to my trailer. I was in a trailer at the time in the shopping center. Yeah. And I said, look guys, I've got my own coffee brand now. And it was also at the time the African American guy was killed. What's his name again? George Floyd. So people misunderstood me. They wanted to feel sorry for me. I'm not a George Floyd. I think my self-esteem is sky high. So they were trying to feel sorry for me. I'm saying, thank you guys, but I've got coffee to sell. Will you buy it? Thank you for saying feeling sorry for George Floyd. I feel sorry for what happened to him, but I'm going to sell coffee. So within 2 or 3 weeks, I sold about 100 bags of coffee of my own brand. And then that now assured me that this is going to be an excellent venture. So the brand, the color scheme has changed. This wasn't the original color scheme because I've tried different colors to see which one resonates with the public. So this is the current color scheme of my coffee enterprise, and I've sold quite a few online as well. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, okay. So, like I said, this is my first time on this particular radio. So this is my core values. My core values of Black Cowboy Coffee is to emphasize authenticity, quality, and a strong connection to the community. When I say community, when I came back from the States, I was homeless, okay? My Nigerian background doesn't allow me to be homeless. You know what I mean? It doesn't allow me to be a beggar, to be somebody that depends on the government or the community. I mean, it's not for, that's just our lineage, that's how we are. So when I became homeless and I was supported by the government and prisoners abroad, and 60 pounds they were giving me every week, and I was getting 70 pounds every week, it took me a lot I had to lift up, rise above that, because I was feeling ashamed of myself, even though I was taking care of my children too when they came back from America to, you know. I need to pay back to the community. So my future goal is to do something tangible for the homeless people of London, or Southeast London, as far as it goes, okay? But I began with offering pay it forward. First of all, I was doing it on my own with the community, allowing me to have free coffees in my stand, and also in my new shop, until I got my customers involved with pay it forward. So I've been doing that since 2018, 17 or 18, just because I wanted to feel good about myself, and also I wanted to help. I can't just come in and have the government cater for me, because I've run into some horror in the state and I had to be sent back, and then I'm now relying on the state. Now this is not something I've done before, so I felt that I needed to pay back, and I will continue paying back. I've got big things planned as the business develops to help the homeless in London. So that is my connection to the community. Also, another connection is where when I did my coffee beans, I used my customers' names for my coffee beans, for my coffee bags, to make them feel part of the business. And as time goes on, most of my coffee beans that are from different parts of the world will be named after my key customers. So it's my outreach to make it like a community. So when people come in, actually one of my customers has probably spent about £500 on his name, just buying his own coffee because he uses them on one of my coffee beans. So